So what's going on, guys? I am Black Ops Amazing. Welcome back to another Zombies Q&A, the series where I take your questions from the comment section below to do with the zombie storyline, Easter eggs, and I answer them as always. Hopefully you enjoyed today's video. Drop a like rating if you do, make sure you are subbed, but let's get into it. Here we go. DemoX115X says, hey BOA, who is Amelia in Kino der Toten? Why is there a flying temple floating in the moon loading screen? Keep up the good work, love your vids. So I think I have answered this question a couple of times before, but I always still see people answering it, and as you can see on this question, there are 94 likes, so quickly I'll go over it again, although there doesn't really seem to be much to it. But yes, back in Kino der Toten on the wall, there was this text. You can see it says Samantha, Amelia, Abigail. Next to it there's also a heart, but who is Amelia and Abigail? Now this could just be Samantha's full name. Samantha Amelia Abigail could be her two middle names, and obviously Maxis is her surname, so it very well could be her, and I believe that is the case. It makes the most sense to me. A lot of people have also speculated that these are Samantha's sisters. Now as far as we know, she is an only child. If we go to the Canorium, it tells us on November the 5th 1934 Samantha Maxis is born. Her mother dies in childbirth, and that's all we really know about her background. Never in the storyline is it mentioned that she has any sisters. Maxis doesn't mention any other children, so that seems unlikely. And the other theory is Samantha is sisters with Misty. Since we know Misty's name is Abigail Brighton, Misty is her nickname, so some people have said that they are sisters. As for who is Amelia, it could be their third sister, but again, that doesn't make sense. Samantha is German, Misty is American, and we know both of Misty's parents were killed. Her mother died of unknown causes, and her father was killed by zombies. Samantha's father is Maxis, who is very clearly, well, he's not right now, but he was alive when this was around. Of course, he's died many times in our storyline, but it just doesn't make sense. Misty is clearly American, Samantha is German. However, like I said, we do know Samantha's mother died as well, so who do I think it is? I think these are just the middle names for Samantha. But then again, we don't know. Is it possible that out there she did have sisters, or still does? The next question says, how will zombies be once this is all over? When Agartha is destroyed, what will happen to the crew, and will there be any zombies after that? So we know in DLC 4, the final Ether map, our crew are going to the Great War. We're not 100% sure what the reason for that is, but we believe it is to purge Element 115 from existence, to stop it from ever coming into contact with humanity, and then we are going to the house to kill Dr. Monty. That's exactly what Samantha tells us in the Alpha Omega ending. And if we listen to one of the final radios from Maxis, he explains this.
By this point, I must assume you are receiving these messages. I hope you are, especially after what I have just learned. I believe I have uncovered why Dr. Monty will not destroy Element 115. The ether is inextricably linked with Agartha. They are one and the same. Agartha, the physical space, is constructed and exists of the ether. From this we can surmise there is no way to destroy the ether unless Agartha itself were to be destroyed. Now, the ramifications for destroying Agartha are not yet clear. After all, it's interwoven into the fabric of all realities, meaning its destruction would impact all of existence. It could very well reset all of time and space. Imagine restarting the universe, but without the influence of the ether. Yes, this is the reason. This is why Dr. Monty will not truly fix the paradox. Destroying Agartha, it would mean the end of him.
So you can see he told Richtofen exactly what we know. Our characters all of this time have been trapped in this endless loop, and all of those affected by Element 115 will continue to be trapped and tortured by the ether's power. It would never end, and the only way to fix this is to purge Element 115 from existence. Humanity was doomed the moment it ever came into contact with Earth. Remember that it doesn't come from this planet. And so I believe that is the main reason our crew are going back to the Great War, to make sure it's never discovered and reaches our planet. And Maxis also tells us that he believes Monty must know this. Surely he knows that Element 115 has to be destroyed, and he said the reason he thinks Monty won't get rid of it is because the ether and Agartha, they are one and the same. Agartha is a physical space that is built up of the ether. You can't have one without the other. You can't destroy the ether without first destroying Agartha itself. And although he says he's not too sure what the ramifications of destroying Agartha are going to be, he's not 100% sure on what will happen, he does know that since it's interwoven into the fabric of all realities, destroying Agartha would mean destroying all of existence. It would reset all of time and space, meaning the universe would be reset, only this time without the influence of the ether. And that's why Dr. Monty won't fix the paradox. He won't end the cycle because destroying Agartha means the end of him. If it dies, he dies. But as we can see, Maxis also tells us that we die as well, or at least that's what I'm getting from it. If in DLC 4 we destroy Agartha, the universe could reset, all of time and space will restart over, and surely that goes for everything inside of it as well. Our characters, Primis, Ultimus, Maxis, Samantha, anyone else involved in our zombies timeline, surely they would reset as well. So in DLC 4, if we destroy Agartha, which means Monty will die, he can't live without it, the universe will start over again, only this time without 115, meaning no zombies, no ether, no Agartha. That should mean then no Dr. Monty, Shadow Man or the Keepers. Does that also mean no Primis crew, no Ultimus crew? I'm not too sure. If the universe resets, then it starts from the very beginning. Whenever it first began, I don't know. But if it is going to reset, then Richtof and Takeo, Nikolai and Dempsey won't exist as adults in their Primis or Ultimus form. They'll start off as children and then grow up. Only this time, they won't be influenced by 115. Which means after this is all over, will it be only the child versions that exist? And what does that mean for Maxis and everyone else? It's of course difficult to explain. We don't know what we're gonna see after. Maybe in the ending cutscene they'll show the universe resetting, or possibly they'll show us, I don't know, millions of years after the universe resets, where Richtof and Takeo, Nikolai and Dempsey exist again, just as children. And also, if we do see it, it's going to be interesting to see what the world is like now that 115 isn't around, and also without Monty having any influence on our world. Will we get to see our crew finally grow old now that the cycle is broken, or will there be some other event that happens? What we do know is this is the end of the Ether storyline for these characters. We've been told that by Treyarch. We have had hints that there is possibilities for the Ether storyline to continue, just not with these characters, which makes sense. Without zombies in our characters' timeline, well, you can't have a COD Zombies game, so they could continue the Ether story. Maybe it would just have to be with a new set of characters in a different dimension, universe, or something like that. But I am super interested to see where this is going to go. The next one says, hey BOA, I have a question. Do the zombies disappear from the map after a while? Otherwise, how would people discover the notes of Banana and not find the zombies? So basically you're saying, do the zombies stay in our maps forever, or after a while, do they leave? And the answer is the latter. We know the zombies are controlled, whether it's by Samantha, Richtofen, or someone else. The zombies are sent to our maps by the controller. So for example, we know back in World at War on Black Ops 1, after Samantha saw her father kill himself on Moon, the last words that Maxis said to her was destroy everything related to Group 935, and so we know wherever the Ultimus crew went on their journey, whether it was to Doris, Shinonuma, Ascension, Call of the Dead, Shangri-La, or Moon, Samantha sent the zombies there to kill the Ultimus crew, and so when the Ultimus crew left, there was no need for the zombies to be there, so she would send them to a different location, meaning they would leave. They wouldn't be there for the whole time. If the Ultimus crew were at a location, the zombies would be there. If they weren't, the zombies would leave. And if we go to the Canorium, it kind of hints towards this. It says, in the Pentagon, JFK, Richard Nixon, Robert McNamara, and Fidel Castro meet in the aftermath of the Cuban Missile Crisis. Due to the events at the Cosmodrome, a zombie outbreak occurs. Samantha sends Yuri to the Pentagon to thwart their survival. After Gersh is freed and the Ultimus crew depart from the Cosmodrome, the outbreak ends at the Pentagon and all four survive. That was part of the original timeline, so we can see after the Ultimus crew left Ascension, which we know 5 and that map are linked, but after the crew left there, the zombies left as well. They followed them, so no, they don't stay in a map location forever. We also know it's the same for Doris. After the Ultimus crew left there and went on to their next location, the zombies left as well, and we know after that, once the place was all clear, the Americans and the Russians came along and took everything from Group 935's base. They couldn't have done that if the zombies were there. So simply, yes, the zombies do leave after a while. So anyway guys, there we go. That is it for today's video. As always, hopefully you have enjoyed. If you have, you know what to do. Drop a like rating. Make sure you are subscribed to stay up to date with the latest videos on the channel. Thank you for watching, and until next time, goodbye.